Now, let's talk about Jon Jones. DC, I have
Oh,
something very important to say. I have something very important to say right here and now. I've thought about this all weekend long. So, since we last spoke, John and Izzy have been going. I mean, it's just been nonstop. Izzy, man, the guy, like, just
he's bad.
let me tell you something. We've learned about C-level Kane. We've learned about motivated BJ. Let me tell you something. The most lethal of them all is quarantine Israel Adesanya, because the guy just doesn't stop. He is ruthless. He does not stop. He is relentless. Doesn't stop.
Internet Izzy. Internet
Internet
Izzy is
is
the word, bro.
that might even be better. Listen,
Internet Izzy's bad.
I have to say something. Regardless of what happens on October 24th between Robert Whitaker and Jared Cannonier, regardless of what happens in December between Darren Till and Jack Hermanson, the UFC has to make this fight right now. Right now.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
I
Last
thought
week
about
you
it.
laughed at me when I told you.
Right
Last
now.
week you're like, no, I'm like, it's the time.
Right now. Right
Right
now.
now's the time.
December.
Right now's the time.
Do it December 12th. Hey, I'm hearing Usman Burns maybe not 100%. That's what I'm hearing.
We need the payoff.
They've already reached out for Stipe and Francis.
Really?
I'm hearing. Yeah, they've already
How's
reached out.
that?
Not great.
Stipe won't do it. Stipe won't do it.
Not great. Listen, Izzy versus Jones might be one of the biggest fights the UFC could put on right now. They hate each other. There's heat. And by the way, this is the best part. There's no belt attached. Have Izzy go up to 205. It doesn't hold up any division. Jones isn't the 205 champ anymore. He's waiting until, the whole heavyweight title thing gets resolved. Make that fight. Forget about 2021. That fight it will never be hotter than right now. DC, they can't. This is like the Undertaker's WrestleMania streak. You can't risk having Jon Jones lose his streak to some jabron. You can't. You lose it to Izzy potentially, and now the torch has been passed, right?
Wait, so you're picking Izzy?
I'm just saying.
Well, you just said so.
I'm just saying.
You picking Izzy too?
I'm saying it's safe.
No,
Stop it.
So you picking Izzy too? Because I'm picking Izzy. You picking Izzy too? I'm picking
I'm
Izzy.
saying it's safe. You don't want to have.
Right? So we're good. We're picking together. Like we both pick Izzy.
All I'm saying is you got to book him correctly, because there's a chance. Let's be honest. Jon hasn't looked great in his last couple of fights. There's a chance he loses in his heavyweight debut or in the next fight after that. You do Izzy versus Jon Jones in December. You're welcome.
That's the fight. I told you last week it's the fight, and boy, it got ugly last week. It got ugly because there were personal insults, there were attacks on family, there were so many different levels of disrespectful tweets. And Israel Adesanya, I promised to correct his name after how good he looked a couple weeks ago. Look, man, there is a level of research and things that you will do in fight promotion. At least that's how I looked at it. If I said something about Jones or Miocic or Gustafsson or any of those guys I was fighting for titles, I would generally try to find out if it was true. I always tried to find out if it was true. Trust me, I've always heard about Jones hiding under the ring whenever we were going to fight the first time from the drug testers. I just didn't know if it was true, so I never said it. But these younger kids, these internet kids, they don't care if it's true or not. He takes anything and he just uses it. He's taken every rumor he's heard about Jones and he just uses it. And you got to leave those kids. I'm like the old guy on the porch. You better leave those children alone, because those children will get you. Bro, could you imagine Jones's house? There is so many broken things in his house after last weekend.
You think he's getting under his skin?
Oh my good dude. They said somebody was like, one of my cousins was like, they better put Jones on suicide watch, because this dude's all over him, man. Like, dude won't stop. And then he starts hitting him. And Jones has never really dealt with that before, right? Because he's generally the guy doing it to us, right? And I felt horrible when he mentioned his mom. That to me was like off limits.
Too much.
Wait. Jones's parents, his mom was a sweet woman. I met her after, the first fight. She wasn't here in the second fight. She was really sick at the time. Beautiful lady, so sweet and nice. His dad came and talked to me after both fights.
Wow.
If we're in the same place, talk to me about my wrestling career before, whenever, because he paid attention. Like, he was a very nice man, right? Izzy shouldn't have done that. But listen, I remember a time when I was the older guy and Jones said something about, DC, I'm your daddy, right? Didn't know about my father being killed when I was a kid. Went so far as to have Dana White call me on a conference call to apologize, right? So now he's aware and he apologized. But then he did it again, right? Then he did it again. and talked about being my daddy again. So then he was doing it knowingly, just as Izzy's doing it knowingly to him. So when you start to open that can of worms, man, you can't feel like a victim whenever somebody does it to you. I would never have done that. That is not my style. And I think that family members are off limits. But again, Jones also said he would come into my house and slap my wife on the butt, and there was nothing I could do, right? So it's like you start to bring family in there, and it's pretty much you're kind of opening a can of worms that you shouldn't. And you don't do that with these young guys because Adesanya he's willing to play that game. It's sad. It's actually really sad.
I remember that exchange. You also responded.
Oh,
to
in response, I did say something about his wife too. I mean,
yes.
Hey, you.
That's when it got its ugliest, I think. Between
it gets ugly. Well, no, that wasn't the ugliest it's ever been between him and I. But
when was it uglier than that? Talking about your wives?
Talking about our wives is ugly. But all the hurling the insults at each other, fighting inside of the lobby of that place, all that was bad, right? But I just feel like now he's in a rivalry now with a guy that's willing to pull no punches. Because the reality is I was very measured in the things that I said at times because I didn't know if they were true. So
race, religion, family. Let's just keep that out.
We've talked about each other's families, so I can't say that families are off limits because I was guilty of it too.
Well, I mean, you could still be guilty of it and say now as
time has passed, yes. Yeah. Looking back, I would have preferred not to have gone there, but I think especially a dead parent, that's off limits, man. Especially Jones' mom was a nice lady, man. She really was, and she loved.
I know it's easy for me, media fans, to say, "Hey, you crossed the line," but I know you guys, you legit hate each other. Things are said. You want to one up the guy. You want to get him back. I get it. I understand it. These two guys. All I'm saying is, if you're going to subject us to this, to the amount of tweets,
where's the payoff?
What's the payoff? You can't listen. You can't subject us to this and then say, "Oh, but I want to go do this," or "I want to go do that."
Who doesn't want the fight is the question.
You know what?
Where's the holdup? Because it sounds like Jones wants to fight.
My understanding is they've never seriously talked about the fight. And
it sounds like Dana's about ready to start talking about the fight, though.
He should, because it's a big time fight. It's the perfect time, right? If you have Izzy move up to 205, he doesn't win that belt and hold up.
Wait. You want Izzy to go up to 205 and Jones to come down. Jones cuts weight to 205.
Well, come down.
Right?
What are you talking about, come down? He's a 205 guy.
Yeah, but he has to come down to 205 now. Because if
come down.
He's always because he makes 205. He doesn't. Jon Jones does not weigh 205.
Okay.
When I fought 205, I weighed 245, 250.
He doesn't have to cut a lot of weight.
Pounds. If Jones is 240 pounds, he has to come down 35 pounds. And Adesanya just shows up. He probably only weighs 215. He might weigh 215 max. What's he
the alternative?
Max? I don't know. That's the things you have to negotiate. A weight. Is it easier? What's easier and more fair for Adesanya to go up a little bit more, maybe 215, and Jones come to 215? Or is it up for, that's the thing though. But those are all things that are going to be discussed because guess what? Neither one of these gentlemen will want to give anything at the negotiating table, right? Jones will be like, why do I have to go down to scratch championship weight to fight a guy coming up, right? So
I just feel like 205 is symbolic because Jon has been the guy there for so long. You have him fight at 205. Look, people have gone up and down all the day. I mean, it just happens, right? I mean, you went up, it just happens. Conor went, that's the game. With UFC doesn't like to do catch weights, right? They don't like to do catch weights.
I think it has to be a catch weight. I just really don't. I think if it was me in that same situation, my sticking point would be, why do I have to get to championship weight to fight this guy who's coming up, especially a guy? I mean, Izzy's what, 6'4"? He's a big dude. He can get a little heavy.
Izzy's a big guy. He is a big guy.
He's a big guy, right? So that would be one of my sticking points. Like, why do I need to go down? When I fought Anderson, right, and Anderson was coming in on a couple of days' notice, I tried to talk my way out of making 206 pounds because I was like, why not 210? He's bigger than he's 210.
They don't like catch weights, right?
Yeah, let's just go a few extra pounds so I don't have to suck all those last few pounds off because those are the hardest ones to make. So I think when you get into it, I think you'll see some sort of concession. They're going to have to make concessions. And I just don't know if Jones is going to want to go all the way down to 205 to fight him. Or maybe he will. I don't know.
Deal with that later. For now,
it's the fight,
talking. Izzy told me last week, I want to fight in December. It's perfect.
Would Izzy fight Jones now?
He didn't want to get into to fight him, But also when I spoke to him was before this onslaught. So I couldn't really ask him about like, hey man, come on. Like you're subjecting us to this. Like, let's go. This is a fight to make. I mean, there's nothing better. Can I just say one other thing? Can I just say, hey, your boy Paulo Costa needs to chill. He needs to chill
Hey,
because
bro.
this guy's saying sign the contract to Izzy. Like, what contract are you talking about, Paulo? He needs to just go. He needs to take a break, right?
No. Izzy too. I'm like, yo, Izzy, he's dead. Like,
Yeah.
Izzy, leave the guy alone. Like, he's dead. You buried him. Like, Izzy, he's dead. The guy is a corpse, man. Of course, now the corpse is talking back. Paulo Costa, go somewhere, man. Go sit down, man.
Yeah.
Go somewhere, Paulo
can't.
Costa. Look, your TV just went off. Your TV actually just went off. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Well, like, did anyone think it was a real TV or something?
I mean,
a real backdrop?
Paulo Costa, go sit down somewhere, man. Don't talk. Just take your licks. All you can do is just
It's
take
bad.
your licks.
He said,
After what happened to you, bro,
sign
you
the best was sign the contract. What contract?
contract.
I am very confident there is no contract out there.
Go fight somebody else, man. Go fight somebody else. Izzy and Jones, and dare I say, going into the Jones Adesanya fight, if Jones can't take this dude down, he's at a major disadvantage. He does not strike as well. He can't strike with Israel Adesanya. There's no chance.